Good evening and welcome to Speak Up Club Inner Circles Speak Up Mastery Program and the last session of this month, this quarter, and what a season that we have had this quarter with the Speak Up Mastery Program. It is a program which has got us deeper and connected and specifically focused on developing skills. Skills, I must say, not knowledge about the various aspects of public speaking and the finer nuances of how can we get better in the way we communicate. It is beautifully said, the human brain starts working the moment you're born and never stops to stand up until you stand up to speak in public. Most of us are masters of the knowledge that we have, the content that we have built, the experiences that we have, but we often falter in the process of that idea and the knowledge transitioning into the world through the bridge called as communication or the connect that we have with the world. And so this program helped us, and what we focused on during this entire 3-month period was looking at one element at a time of how we can get better and have different elements of our own speciality with regard to our own styles, individual nature, and the way we operate, and observe whether something is enabling us to put that message across in an impactful way, or something is disabling us or limiting us and our idea to come across in the way we want it to land in the world. So today's program is going to be an open mic where we are going to talk about speak and influence. We are going to have members of our inner circle club. We have today among us 4 members right now who are going to be delivering their short speeches and bringing to the fore all the learnings that they've had in the past 3 months of this program and bringing to the fore their ideas, not my ideas, their own lives, their own ideas, their own experiences, and deliver a speech through which you can be influenced. Let's see how well they are and how good they have learned over a period of time. Just follow the update for everyone. If at all you wish to see and you wish to understand how they are, it could be challenging to have an absolute standard to how good they are because you don't know where they come from. And these are all members who have been with us for the last 1.5, 2 years now. So if at all, if you are curious to see the journey that they have had, you can surely go back to the video recordings of how they were when they joined us and where they are today. So just to put a context about public speaking and how and why we are working on this. If you closely observe, we focus a lot more through our education, through our careers, a lot more on the way we are gaining knowledge. But what we do not realize is that it's not only what we know, but how well we express that and make an impact. That is what makes an entire difference. And in that process, what I've observed is that they are walking encyclopedias, people who are treasure house, who have a goldmine of knowledge and yet are limited in the way they come across the world. Give me a minute. I'll just make Uma, can I make you the co-host so that in case someone is joining, you can just add them. I'm seeing the people joining in between. And if at all, there is one thing that a lot of people fear even above or beyond death, it is the idea of standing up in front of people and talking. And this, let me tell you, we all begin somewhere. We all have a process through which we start this journey. I've been doing this for the past 18 years now. I began my public speaking journey, standing up on stage and delivering programs, speeches, presentations way back in 2005. And let me tell you, I was equally fearing the idea of standing up on stage and delivering speeches. But it's a process that I've realized that it is a process and a learnable skill that if you can work on, puts you over 95% of the people in the world who are great at what they know, but are limited by how they express it. So today what we'll be doing is we'll be witnessing 5 speeches, and I'll keep coming back with instances or elements from their speeches through which we can see what worked and what could have been better. And I believe that can be the takeaway for all of y'all, wherein you see of how you have come across someone pitching their ideas or talking about. And please note, it's not about standing up on stage and delivering speeches alone. It is largely also the way you communicate with people and how we can get better. I've always told that the element of science in public speaking is largely limited to the language and the rules that apply. Beyond the science, communication and public speaking is an art. And so the challenge or the process is all about how we can be chasing the better when compared to what is good. The challenge is always good versus the better, not bad versus good, because everyone has a way and everyone has a style of coming across. But is it impactful? How better and how impactful is it is what tells and sells. So the question is not about right or wrong. You can have a grammatical correction or the usage or the pronunciation correction, which is the science part of it. But largely when it comes to public speaking and communication, we are focusing more on how well it could have been done and how better can we do it from what we are doing. That's the idea. So let's get going today with the first speech that we have. Who wants to go first among the ICM members? Can I have a raise of hand? Okay, like expected. Let's have Uma ma'am first. Madhu, you were a split second late. Let's have Uma ma'am deliver the first speech, and I'll have the timer on my screen. Just a second. Can you see? 1 second. Can you see the timer on my screen, ma'am? You're on mute.
I can't see the timer.
on my screen? On my video?
No.
No. 1 second. Can others see the timer on my screen?
Yes, we are able to see.
On my video, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm able to see.
Okay, perfect. I'm stopping it, and the stage is all yours. Over to you.
Only if I pin you, I'm able to see the timer.
Okay. So can I start? Now I'm able to start. Now I'm starting then. Can you see the timer?
I have to pin you, I think.
Just check if you want to pin.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm able to see.
Okay, perfect. Over to you. So, inner circle
I won't
member.
be able to see the audience reaction if I pin you. That's okay.
Yeah. Uma Natraj, ordinary race or obstacle race? Inner circle member, Uma Natraj.
One thing common between all of us is we all love a competition or a race. Imagine you're running an ordinary race and an obstacle race. Which would you enjoy? If you had asked me 30 years back, I would have definitely told I would have enjoyed an ordinary race. Flashback. 1989, I was 22. I had just then got married. My father called and told me when I had to take leave of him, Uma, life is not a bed of roses. You have to face it bravely. Be bold. Okay, Dad, I told him. I didn't realize that life will have obstacles. I just thought life will be a bed of roses. Let me go ahead and take you into my story. I joined my husband in Mangalore, and the first year was fun. Every week, we used to go to Ideal Ice Cream Parlor and have ice creams in Mangalore. That was the famous spot to have ice creams. Weekends, we used to go to beaches, then short holidays to temples and tourist places. Life was fun. Life was celebration. Days went on, 1 year passed, and the news came that we had to be transferred to a rural place, somewhere in North Karnataka, 800 kilometers away from our hometown, Bangalore. We were young and we thought we will take the plunge, and we moved to Gulbarga. And from Gulbarga, my husband had to travel almost 60 kilometers daily to reach that village. He had to reach a place called Dudni and then take the bank's jeep and reach there. So he did this for almost 3 months, morning 8 a.m. and he used to come back at night 8. After that, it got hectic and the elders advised, why don't you shift to the village? So we thought, we are young, let us rough it out. And we moved to the village. no running water at home, no toilets. Luckily, we got a toilet built, but we had to manage without running water. Days passed and I made friends with the localites. And very soon I attended the shandy and I got adjusted to the village life. One challenge met. I turned the challenge into an opportunity and I started loving the village life, the nature, the fields, the fresh greenery, everything astonished me. And I thought village life is fun too. Came the second setback. After 6 months, I was in the family way and things were going on smoothly. Suddenly, when I somehow had a miscarriage, when I went to a field, a farmer's field, and we were invited there for a sugarcane juice treat. So unknowingly, I had 2 fresh sugarcane juice cups, and the next day I had to meet with a miscarriage. Everything was new to us. We didn't know how to handle it. Unfortunately, the primary health center doctor was not there. The nurse was not there. The jeep came late that day, but somehow we reached the nearest city, and then the miscarriage had happened. After that, I took rest for 3 months in my mother's place and then came back to the village and thought, what can I do for the rest 6 months when I had to stay in the village? It was summertime in the village and it was very hot. I thought, why not I make some ice creams and sell so that people also can cool themselves during the summertime. That was a good idea. And the ice cream sold like hotcakes. People used to bring tumblers and take those ice creams, and I had to put even a sold out board. So this second challenge also, I turned it into an opportunity. Dear friends, what would you have done during those troubled times? Would you have thought like me? When I look back now at the obstacle race, I think I will choose the obstacle race now because it has taught me that every challenge you can turn it into an opportunity and every opportunity will make you a winner. What do you think? Over to you.
Thank you, Uma Nataraj, for that wonderful speech. Talks about the story, talks about how you overcame the challenges and come to embrace the challenges today. Thank you for that wonderful speech. Next in, let's move to the next speaker. Who wants to go next? Welcome, Rushali, and I saw someone else was okay. Welcome, Rushali. Where are you joining us from? Okay, let's get going with the next speaker, Madhu. You're on mute. And
Yes.
Madhu's title is Inspire Job Seekers. Inner Circle member, Madhu Sundarapu, Inspire Job Seekers. Over to you.
I remember when I come to Hyderabad to get a job as an average student who don't have any technical background, who studied BCom. Today, I would like to share a person from without any background, how he got a good job in IT and he's happily working. So, tell me, how many of you believe that positive attitude is a key for success? Can you please raise your hand? Okay. Thank you. So, I'll tell you a small story of mine. When I'm preparing for interviews, I wanted to prepare well and I wanted to crack the job. That's my attitude. But later I found that it never happens. But no, we have to attempt and we have to learn and we have to again reattempt and improve ourselves. But at that time, I was preparing for HCL. There is a very good opportunity in a technical role. I was preparing. And it's around 12 to 13 days are there. I'm very well preparing and putting my efforts and taking seniors help. And suddenly I got one more opportunity to attend an interview in IBM. that time I thought, no, I am very well focused on, on a HCL interview. Why should I divert myself? And my focus maybe at least 2 days may, I have to focus for that interview, and it may, delay my focus, something like that, I thought. But then I decided, okay, let me use this opportunity to try myself whether I am prepared well for HCL job or not. Then I thought, okay, let me use this for my prepared for interview, like pre-attempt. Then I attended because my intention to see my growth, whether I well prepared or do I have to improve, like that. That is in my mindset. Listen, guys, my mindset is to test my skills, not to get the job. And I attended the interview, and you surprisingly, I got a job. No, whether I accept or not, that's a secondary scenario. I got opportunity, and I have some time to accept. Then the day came. What? I'm going interview in HCL. I'm well prepared, and I am very confident that I'll crack the job, because I'm from past few days I'm preparing, and I have given my best, and I haven't cracked the job. To surprise myself, I am just thinking, why I'm not getting job. There are many factors. That's a different scenario. But tell me that what happens if I don't attend IBM interview, right? Again, I have to look for another interview like that. But luckily, I accepted IBM offer, and that is my first IT job, and that taught me a lot of lessons and positive attitude. Just positive way, I wanted to attempt to test my skills, but that given me opportunity. So have you faced any this kind of situation even in our life? Because many times we feel like, no, I just I'm focusing on this, I don't want to try this, that. Who knows, that maybe that may help you to reach your goal, whatever you're trying currently. Correct. So the same way, I believe that positive attitude will help us many times, not only in the job interview. Okay, that's the reason I feel like you never fail until you stop trying. The famous quote by Albert Einstein. I strongly believe that. The same way, I got opportunity to speak in front of my team, and because of that, I got a lead position. That positive attitude helped me in that way also. So I feel that positive attitude will help in many ways in our life to achieve success or to be happy in our life. So I suggest everyone to have this kind of attitude and attend more interviews in span of 3 months. Try to have a goal like to attend like 10 interviews in 3 months. Okay, that positive attitude will give definitely positive results. So that's my experience. Tell me if you have any great stories like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhu. So proud of the fact of how you have evolved over the 3-month period, and obviously much longer period of what I've seen you and how we have seen you in this journey of Speak Up Club. Thank you. Now, I would just like to, before we go to the next speakers, I would just like to ask anyone in the audience, what do they think, or what did they like, or what can be better, or specific elements that you liked about Uma Nataraj or Madhu Sudarpan that you heard in their speeches? Anything specific that you liked? Any feedback that you'd like to give? Roshan, Vishwak, you're on mute. I'm sorry, you're on mute again. You're on mute again. I'm sorry. I was unmuting you in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audible. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have any feedback, but what Uma ma'am said, what Madhu sir said, Uma ma'am said that what her father said, that life is not a bed full of roses. I know this might sound too cliche, but her giving an example of her miscarriage and being so expressive, being bold about it. If I had something like that, I won't be able to express that because I have a fear of being judged. And I've seen people, they are not afraid to be judged, and they are really open with the guests and the members. I really loved it, because even at a Toastmasters meeting or any meeting, I can be this expressive. And big ups to ma'am and Madhu sir for giving a lesson, teaching me something which I already knew, but with the help of a story. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vishwak. I think the members would resonate with this idea where we, in one of the earlier programs, we talked about this fundamental element of public speaking. The fact that we are not looking for stories where you heard something, you listened something, you were inspired by something. What really matters is how you bring in authentic stories from your end. And that is what really inspires. A quote by Albert Einstein or a living example of some famous personality does tell a story. But the fact is, for you to connect and resonate and make an impact, the story has to be yours. And you should be okay. When you told about Uma ma'am's story, you should be okay with the vulnerability that you're presenting and being able to be judged and still making it a point. And that is all about public speaking. Not just about standing up and delivering a story, but about owning who you are and that person coming onto the stage and showing and wearing all the good things and the scars equally as a badge of honor. That is what and how good public speakers are made, because people don't just see you, they can see through you. And that is what makes impact. Thank you, Vishwak, for that feedback. Anyone else, Roshan or anyone wants to give any feedback? Any members also, Lakshmi, Ellen or Krishna, Sri Krishna?
Particularly Madhu sir's speech, where he told about attending 10 interviews, something which I felt that I resonate, because I am kind of in that juncture at this point of time. So that is kind of inspiring, I would say. More than inspiring, like 1 or 2 offer letters I literally got by, just I'll give it on that basis. So that is something which I really loved about Madhu sir's speech, to be particular.
Wonderful. So Sri Krishna had a connect, Madhu. Thank you for that. Let's move to the next speaker who will come. Ellen, over to you. Inner Circle member, Lakshmi Narayanan. Lakshmi Narayanan, the speech title, The Major Shift. The Major Shift, Lakshmi Narayanan.
Yeah.
Can you see my time?
Yes. Yeah, I have read one interesting story. There was a boy at childhood. He used to play always. He will not study much. Morning after get up, he will play. He went to school, he will play. After come back to school, he will play. So he's playing only, he's everything like that. School, he will do some homework. Homework means not that 4-line or 2-line. He used to do some glossary for helping her mother, glossary item like that. Homework he used to do. Again, going to rice mill or else garden work like that. Homework only he will do. He will not do normal school homeworks. So he will not unable to score much marks. Unable to score means actually he had a 7 subject. In 7 subject out of 7 subjects, 700 marks. Can anyone guess how much he scored apart from Inner Circle? If you have any idea, out of 700, how much mark he scored? Vishwak or someone else? Out of 700, how much he scored? You can guess any.
I'll go 500.
500, yeah. 500, someone telling for 350 or 200. So the teachers are actually, he's below average student, not average student. So teachers, they are very good. They will not put 0. So instead of 0, they put 2 marks. So 2 marks like that means out of 700, he scored 14 or 20 like that he scored. So the principal told up to 5th I can pass. Next standard, 2nd, 4th, 5th like that. 5th standard, he called his parents. We unable to do like this means. So you have to take call or else we will put fail. 5th, again re-5th also he's good. Father told again re-5th also he's going to do the same. So what to do like that? So he thought instead of that English medium, I can go to some other language. So local language, they put the local language school. Then suddenly he realized, what he realized, his father also not happy, that the entire surrounding people or entire street, they know he will not study. So like that, actually, he felt some uncomfortable. He's seeing his father. So he thought, okay, I have to study. So because of my father, because of my friends, like that. So then what he started, he went to the local language school. He put lot of efforts. He will use to memorize lot of things. Even on missing means he will think what I need to write. So like that he mug up like anything. He memorized everything. So started studying in his history. He got a subject passed. Like that border mark he passed. Then he loved the kick actually, I can tell. So all they're telling, okay, he passed that. So, but his own sister is thinking he will not pass, he copied or something like that. So his sister, our friends also, they're thinking he copied and passed. The times went like that. So 10th result came. That day also what he did, he went playing. That all actually more than him, others all, they're getting lot of tension. What will happen? What will happen? That India-Pakistan match like that. So he went for playing. He came evening only. So parents, sister, all they shocked. He scored 76.5, 76%. How he scored 76%? The sister then started believing, okay, he will study. So then he put a lot of effort, continued. He completed diploma 88%. Again, completed engineering too. Is miracle to him. He will not like maths, but he completed engineering. So at last, father also happy. Everyone is happy. The major shift happened because of him. He loved actually everything, loved surrounding people. Because of him, he studied. The story is written by Lakshmi Narayanan. That is me. Thank you. This is my story. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Ellen. Wonderfully delivered. I like the upgradation to the speech that you did by bringing in this is the story written by Lakshmi Narayan. Thank you for that. Wonderfully done. Anyone would like to share any feedback or any takeaway for Ellen? We call him Lakshmi Narayan, and by the time we call the speech, I think we call his name, we will finish the meeting. So we started to call him Ellen. So any feedback for Ellen? Roshan?
Yeah, Ellen, you spoke really nicely, and I really enjoyed your speech. And yeah, the way you transform from a guy who's failing to becoming an engineer and making your father proud, it's very inspiring. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you, Roshan, for that feedback. Vishwak? Yeah, Madhu, go ahead.
That's a very good thing that when you're not getting a good marks, you haven't quit the complete studies, but you have taken another alternate and you become success. That's a turning point. I enjoyed a lot. Complete speech. Good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Madhu. Vishwak, go ahead.
I don't have any suggestion. I could just connect to the story because even I quit MBBS. I had to drop out of MBBS, so I could resonate a little bit of what he said. And one more thing, Ellen, Lakshmi Narayana, the thing is, I don't think your video quality was great. Go to a place where you can get a good mobile data or service, and that so that people can give a proper feedback. And that's it. Your speech was great.
Thank you, Vishwak. I think, yeah, Ellen, there was a bit of a bandwidth challenge. Yeah, there were parts where you were breaking in. It was a little bit of a challenge. Wonderful. So thank you, ma'am. I see Subhash or Lokeshwaran, if you'd like to share any feedback or you would like to say anything. You're completely on mute. That's the reason I thought I'll just bring you in. Okay, no problem. So there are two parts. There are two parts of every speech. One is the content, which you saw how Uma ma'am talked about stories. Ellen talked about his personal story from his childhood to now. Madhu talked about the job experience or how to build that confidence. And there's a second part, which is about the delivery. How many of you have heard a speech like Lakshmi Narayan? Somebody's already had a challenging childhood and they have come up to this level where they have evolved. Like Vishwak just mentioned, I've also had my challenges with MBBS and there. So we all have stories, but what really differentiates all of us, there will be similarities in our stories, but what really differentiates all of us is the packaging that we have in the way we deliver our speeches. The authenticity is there, one of the points which we discussed earlier. But the fact is how you're packaging, how you're bringing in humor, how you're asking questions, how are you engaging with the audience with a question, bringing them into your speech. That is something which helps a lot of us when we are wanting to influence, when we're delivering a speech. That is how you bring the people into your story. You saw Uma ma'am asking a question at the beginning. Do you prefer the simple race or the obstacle one? You saw Madhu asking another question. You saw Ellen asking, do you feel like this? Or are you similar like this? So questions like that is what brings the audience into your picture. What happens is that when you create or deliver a speech, which is absolute and with a framework which calls out loud to whomsoever it may concern, there's a large likelihood that it is not going to connect with anyone. And so while you're delivering speeches, it's very important to inculcate those elements which will bring the audience into your story. Even if it's a video, the point is you have to have elements which what I call is a music in your speech of how you can bring in elements through which the people can come into your speeches. While you are talking about your story, your setback, your challenge, by asking a question, you are making people think about their challenges, their setbacks. And that is how the connect happens between the speaker and the listener. And you're bringing the listener into your story, or you're making that listener go deeper into his story. And that is what makes speeches or these public speaking elements finer elements with which we can get deeper on public speaking. Thank you, Ellen, for that. Sri Krishna. Ready?
Yes.
Inner Circle member, Sri Krishna. A memorable day at school. A memorable day at school. Sri Krishna, over to you.
So every child is special. This is the tagline of the movie Tare Zameen Par, and it has had an impact in every child's life. So I was the duller of the class. So, and I did not clear the 9th standard in my school due to CBSE syllabus and due to syllabus difficulties. Because of it, the school principal called my parents and told that your son needs to be detained. Like, if you want to continue in this same school, you need to study 9th class again. And CBSE was going out of my head. So my parents also realized that, okay, some change is required. So I took PC from that school and joined another school with SSC syllabus. But still they took me in 9th class only because of the reason that I did not know how to read and write Telugu. So they felt that while taking a new language like Telugu, I may suffer in just to learn it in just 1 year. So because of that, they took me in ninth standard only. But even after changing school, being the duller remained the same. I was very bad at maths and science. I was good at languages, English, Hindi, and though Telugu was a new language for me, thanks to my guru who was a neighbor, he taught me Telugu so well that I became one of the topper kind of guy in Telugu. But I could not do much with languages because the barrier was the language teachers had a challenge of classes, like they couldn't get the classes enough, so they couldn't conduct activities or something like that. So I couldn't show who I am in language class also. And quarterly exams results came, and I will leave the results to the best guess of audience known. So after that I was very demotivated. But one news came that our social studies sir left and one new ma'am will be taking social studies. I didn't react much to the news because I was already very down, demotivated. I always had the aspiration to be the topper, but I was unable to do anything. It was like kare to kare kya kind of feeling I had. So good part is in initial days, after few days when our social ma'am came, she told each and every person in the class to explain a particular topic. So for the first time, I gained confidence because explaining topics is something which I do very well, even from those days. So that is something I would say I can deliver things very efficiently. So because of that, I was ready to try, but I couldn't do it in the initial days only because ma'am initially told toppers to deliver the speech, and toppers were delivering different topics. After that, some people were randomly picked by our ma'am, and one particular day, our social ma'am threw the question, okay, who will deliver the next speech? So you know who will raise the hand first here. So I rose the hand. So, and my social ma'am appreciated me for my courage, because if she would just wanted to test that who will come first. Because I came so boldly first, she said it's a very good attempt, and she gave the topic to deliver in the next day. So the next day came, and ma'am called me to deliver the session. So when I was going to deliver, I heard some whispers of my friends. Are we to 2 lines explain just a goppa? Meaning, even if he explains 2 lines, it is really great. But but I would say it added up as a motivation for me. So I felt that oh, I have to deliver the best, and I have to do it the way. This is the way I have to do it. And I delivered the speech, and there was an awkward silence for 20 seconds after I delivered the speech. And after that, so our social ma'am told, let's give a bring a round of applause for Sri Krishna. So this event is so memorable for me, because this is one of the first individual speeches I gave. Like before, whatever things I used to explain, I did it in a team. Individually, I have never done it. So because of that, I got the experience, and also a lesson. If I have to deliver something, I have to deliver it with this quality. And I would like to end this with a quote by Albert Einstein. Every person is a genius, but if you judge a fish's ability by climbing a tree, it will always think it is good. So this is something I learned. Thank you.
Wonderful, Sri Krishna. Looking at the journey that you have had, you have spoken for 5 minutes now, and I can only be proud of the fact of how far you have come from where you began. Thank you for that wonderful speech, sprinkled with humor, taking us down the memory lane for our own journey, and the impactful message that you had through the entire story, and the end of it was wonderful. Wonderfully done. Now for everyone again, look at the storyline. Look at what you observed in the speech. What is your take? What is your feedback? Feedback doesn't have to be, okay, this is good and this can be better. What did you observe? What connected or resonated with you is something that you can share. Who's coming up? Anyone?
Yeah.
Ellen, go ahead.
Yeah, actually that similar situation I had. Just during my diploma, the teacher asked, actually we are chit-chatting, gossiping something. Suddenly asked the teacher, you have to present tomorrow the topic. He said, I asked 2-page or entire unit. She stopped. So confident. Like that Sri Krishna, I'm seeing some point to version. So very nicely he spoke, entire thing, his confident level, his delivery, and everything very nicely today he is presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Sri Krishna's story and this entire setup of someone asking him to present reminds me of how my journey started as a public speaker. If you're able to see me today here, was because of one day someone bunked a class. Someone bunked a class, and that's the reason you're seeing me today. And that someone was the teacher. The teacher bunked the class and called me and said that I'm not coming, I'm unwell, and you have a habit of writing something, right? Take a 1-hour session, because all are there already. Take a 1-hour session with your poems, writing, whatever you do, speak for 1 hour and manage the session. And that is where the entire journey of living life and me coming out of a shell of taking out and spreading my ideas began from. And that is where I'm talking of the year 2005, August 5th, Friendship Day, when it all began. Suddenly teacher dropped and they asked me to take the session for 1 hour because everyone was already there and they didn't want to send them back. So that's how stories begin. I think these are all stories that all of us have, and we have a umpteen number of them. Let's begin with the non-members now, who would like to share a message, a story, a thing that they would like to share with us. We are all ears with your story. Vishwak, you would like to go first?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, I'm just updating the timer to 3
Yeah,
minutes.
please do.
Okay, sure. The stage is yours.
Since I'm here at Speak Up Club Living Life, I want to talk about Speak Up Club and Living Life. First, when I heard about it, I was like, what is this? Speak Up Club and Living Life? They don't connect. I thought it must be something related to philosophy where people talk about philosophies and stuff. So I got curious. I tried to attend a meeting on Saturdays. I was part of this WhatsApp group for a long time, but I was not able to. Thank God I did today, and I'm really happy. Now I understand why it is called a Speak Up Club and Living Life. It's not about only public speaking. It's about all the soft skills you get to learn in this club. Rahul sir, it's really amazing how you divided the year into 4 quarters, and in each quarter you're giving the members a few soft skills. You're teaching them, and you're helping them improve in their careers as well. And I've sat through the 4 speeches today, and I have to tell you something. I'm a Toastmaster, and I go to different clubs and I listen to speeches. Some speeches I just sit through them. I'm like, when will the speech end? Come on, I'm just bored of this. Some speeches I do feel like that. But today, I swear, the speeches were top notch. I was more curious. What is going to happen? Like, how is this going to end? The stories you told me were very, very, very interesting. Now, I think that credit goes to both the speakers and Rahul sir for mentoring them. And I had a really great time, and I plan to attend more sessions as well. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishwak. Appreciate you joining kind of a public speaking platform despite being a Toastmaster and having the opportunities and the bigger opportunities there. Thank you for being a part of this session today. Roshan? Are you there, Roshan? Chandrasekhar, you don't have a speech today, but yeah, you can surely share maybe your experience of being a part of the Speak Up Club for the past 3 months. So Chandrasekhar was one of the recent joinees, while other members have been with us as a part of right back. Maybe Uma ma'am has been there with us since, I think, session number 25 of the Speak Up Club. So we have known her for over 3 years now. 100 sessions of Speak Up Club, and now I think we are closer to 24th session of the Inner Circle. It's been a long journey with us, and that's how it is. So Chandrasekhar is also in a metro, so he can't talk. Lokesh or Subhash, if you'd like to share. Okay, Subhash, Ellen, he's your friend, right?
Yeah,
Lokesh,
hi.
Lokesh. Subhash, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, I was connected to mobile. That's why I couldn't talk before.
No problem.
Yeah, so actually, I recently moved to Hyderabad. I'm also a Toastmaster. I'm from High Mount Toastmaster Club, Chennai. So I know Uma Nataraj ma'am already. Just 1 or 2 months before, she has mentored a couple of speeches for me. So I know her very well, and I'm happy to join again with her in this session. So yeah, I'm looking forward to attend more meetings. And Rahul, I've gone through some of your speeches in YouTube, and it was so inspiring. And then the 9 steps of learning, preparing a speech, those video also I've gone through. So it's completely a new experience here. People are more matured, and they are eagerness to improve their speeches. It's really inspiring. I'm looking forward to join more meetings here, and already attend a Vision Toastmaster Club last couple of weeks ago. Wonderful. So I'm also planning to attend Hyderabad Toastmaster Club as well.
So, Vishwak, you are an EC member of Vision Toastmasters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm the PR member.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
Vishwak, I know. Yeah, I met him in that meeting. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Okay,
I met him.
just to put in context, or if in case there's some confusion, Living Life, this initiative Speak Up Club, it's not a Toastmasters initiative. I am a professional speaker and I have been doing this for the past 18 years now. So these initiatives are not Toastmasters related. So in case there's been a confusion, I just wanted to make that clear. So these are part of
Okay.
a Living Life initiative that we do life skills programs, communication programs, and professional development programs as a part of the community called as Living Life. That's what we do. Hi, Siddharth. Good to have you here. Okay.
Hi, Rahul. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good to see you. We are almost towards the fag end of the session. We have had 3 speeches and we have had Subhash and Vishwak also sharing their thoughts and ideas. Do you have any message to share?
I'm really sorry to be late. Yeah, I mean, I
No
didn't have
issues, no
signals over
issues. Go
here,
ahead.
as I already mentioned the reason to you,
I
right?
understand. You're traveling and there's a lot of things on your plate already right now. I understand that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd like to share any message or if you'd like to share anything that possibly a story or a experience of your life that will possibly influence all of us.
Okay, I would give a try for that, sure.
Go ahead.
So right now, as I already mentioned, I'm traveling right now and I'm in Kedarnath, one of the most exciting places on earth. So I didn't have this fascinated feeling towards Kedarnath before. But when I started the trek, of course, it was tiring. And of course, the trek was not that easy. I understand. I mean, I can relate myself to that trek. I have gone to many treks till date, but this one was the magnificent one. Uh, Going ahead, when the green mountains turned into white, I understand white is not a color that gives you imagination or clarity in thought, but believe me that white is having its own story when it comes to Kedarnath especially. So the green, as I already mentioned, the green mountains turned white. It was 25 kilometers trek, and my friends and I was accompanied with a group of strangers. So we started trekking for around 25 kilometers. We got many opportunities to come on to mules, but I didn't take it up because I wanted to walk throughout the line. We reached temple around, it took us 13 hours of travel walk basically. So we successfully completed that walk, and we actually had a camp nearby, so we took that camp. And we were not in a situation to see God, because if we directly stand in that line, we would meet God directly after the stressful journey. So we believed it's better that we rest, we freshen up, because we were all sweat, and I believe that God would not be so fascinated seeing us in that way. So we just took up a bath, shower and all. And please don't expect any geyser showers. It's basically ice water shower, right? So it basically gave, we were always in a situation that our body was not experiencing, our legs are a part of our body. So therefore we forgot the existence of our legs for a while. When we reached Kedarnath, and when we were standing in the line for the darshan, the mountains that are behind the temple were covered with clouds. That itself was so magnificent. I mean, I fell for it. The view was really very exciting. But when we stood in the line, and it took us around 1 hour, so in that 1 hour time, what happened was all the clouds moved away, and the Kedar temple, green mountains left and right, and white mountains behind the temple. Just to see that one delightful picture, I would give away all my life again. So that one particular view have fascinated me so much. I am not a photogenic person usually. I do not click a lot of photos. Even if my friends clicks photos, no, I just get angry that you have to live the moment for a while. It's not about photos and capturing the moments. It's about living the moments. But I myself took out my camera and started clicking pictures so that I can send it to my family and they can also experience the view. So that view was really, basically, it's according to Hindu mythology, it is believed that Lord Shiva lives in Himalayas. Basically in the temple. I'm sorry, excuse me, signal problem. Yeah, so basically it's believed that Lord Shiva lives in Kailash, right? But I have experienced Lord Shiva really in front of my eyes when I saw that view. Then my body was not in a situation that I could walk back. I decided to hire a horse, but people who came on horses gave me a very remarkable review, and I decided to switch off and again walk back. So that took us around 10 hours trek again, but we stayed upright. So basically my energy got rejoiced again. So that was great. coming back, just now reached back to our rooms. Literally, believe me, just 10 to 15 minutes back, we reached our rooms. So typically tired and my legs are not even, as I told, I forgot the existence of my legs right now. So yeah, getting refreshed. And I just now even saw Rahul's status and tried to join the session. I know I'm late, but yeah, I mean, I just didn't want to miss the session.
Thank you. Wonderful, Siddharth. I think, can we have a round of applause for him? This is what we are talking about when we talk about having an idea and the ability to transition that into a message and package that and deliver it. He just came back and he's able to express that. We are not talking of a preparation of a speech and all that thing, with the kind of a clarity and the emotion and the power that it had in the way he could express his entire journey, something that he's just experiencing it currently. He's just come back and he's just joined us. That's the power of a good communicator. So I think we are up almost to the end of the time. I would just like to give a brief about this entire experience and the process that we do, or what we follow at Speak Up Club, this in a Speak Up Mastery program that we do. Please note, public speaking is not about standing on stage and delivering speeches alone. It's everything that happens from the mind and the idea that you have to the impact that you have on the world. Communication and public speaking is our gateway, the bridge through which we interact with the world. And more importantly, many people miss this point. More importantly, how the world interacts with us. And please note, it is no rocket science. I know it is a scary experience, a lot of dreaded experience for people to go and communicate openly in the public. But the important thing is everything. Have you observed how the light waves happen? So if you have gone to marriages or functions where you see some of the lights moving in patterns and having design shapes, if you closely observe, that looks magical. And if you think of it, of how tough it would be to actually go ahead and design something like that. But the reality is, do you know the process through which they do it? If you go deeper, observe the broader pattern, zoom in, get deeper, get deeper, get deeper to one light. And that is where, if you see that light, there's no pattern in it. The light just blinks, switches off, blinks, switches off. As you zoom out, the timing of each of the lights which you see around is what creates the pattern. And as you zoom out, you see the magic happening. This is how you actually go about building a skill. When you look at the magic, you are in awe of what the experience is. But if you wish to replicate and learn the magic, zoom in to that level where you can break the parts and master one part at a time. And that is where, as you progress in mastering one part at a time, you become the master and the magician who can show the wave of lights. And that is where magic happens. We are always admiring and in awe of the big and the beautiful things that happen and think that is so kind of impossible for me to achieve that level. But the reality is, if you dig deeper, zoom in and focus on one thing at a time, everything is possible and you can be the magician. As per communication, when we talk of the process that we follow, please note, there are three versions of every communication. One is what you think. The second is what you deliver. And the third is how it impacts the audience. And there's a mastery at each of these three levels that you can do and work on to build and become a better communicator. For the mind and the ideas that you have, prepare. The more you work around and building your ideas, the structuring, the preparation which goes into what you are going to deliver is going to help you in your thinking. The practice in how your thinking transcends to your delivery is where you practice. That's where you follow the process, the drills of how you're going to go about delivering, how you are, whatever you're thinking. And the third one is where the impact. We constantly focus on the review, the evaluation to understand, I was thinking of this as the objective. Did my audience feel the same? Was my audience persuaded with my idea in the same intent that I had or not? And that is where the review or the evaluation helps us as an input again to our preparation. So this is a process that we follow. Think, deliver, review. In whatever we are doing, every type of speech that we deliver, this process that we follow is what helps us in upping our game each time, whatever we do. And what we often call as, there are days like this of what we are doing right now. We have an anatomy of speeches. We break, zoom in to individual parts. What was the opening? How was the structuring? How was the closing? Where was the music in the speech? The humor, the questions, the elements where there was the intonation, the low voice, the high voice. These all go into making the speech what is an impactful one. And that is where the anatomy of speech, once we go back to the recordings, we get down to sit and see what we delivered and how on each of the individual elements we can become better and focus on developing that. And this is a process that we follow in Speak Up Mastery. And today marks the end of this quarter and what we have done through this entire 3-month period in this program of focusing and developing on one element and growing and building ourselves. Let's see what we have in store for the next quarter. Next Friday will be a break for us, and we get going with the next quarter's announcement of what is the program that we are focusing on and how are we going to go about. Please note, it's not mutually exclusive programs. In the first month, when we talked about goal setting, the ideas of your aspirations and how do you build patterns, habits, we transcended that into the Speak Up Mastery, where you set a goal for yourself, you challenge yourself, you build your habits, and you started to work on them. And now when we have worked on the Speak Up Mastery, please note, we are not masters, neither am I. We are not masters, but we have got the elements and the tools through which we can become better. Let's see what we have in store in the next quarter. And for the members, we'll be beginning with the process of whatever we are going into in the next quarter, the targets and the program structure. We will be making sure we are not letting go of these elements and the drills that we have learned in the first 2 quarters into the next quarter, and have speeches being delivered, setting goals, looking at the patterns that we have that limit us, and see how we can break them and become better versions of ourselves. With that, we come to an end for today's session. I would like to thank all the audience, for the guests who have joined us for the first time and been a wonderful audience, listening to us, listening to our members and their stories. And before we close, I would just like to have a short or quick feedback from all the members about your experience of this quarter of Speak Up Mastery, and would like to hear your feedback. Over to you. Who's coming up first? Madhu, go ahead.
I still remember when I started this quarter, especially for communication. Many times I use the repeated words, which is not really necessary. And that's a very great lesson I learned. And many times I have some doubt that if I say straight away my opinion, what people will think that. That is a big lesson, that my opinion, it's my opinion, whether that is people will accept or not. So I should, say in a proper way. I don't, have to, doubt every time to share my opinion also. No, like that, I'm just giving examples. I learned in my speech itself, many times I'm doing these mistakes from years without knowing it. But this 3 months program definitely changed me a lot. Definitely, I believe that it's given a chance to improve myself. So I'm very happy to part of this inner circle, and I would like to see a lot more growth in the coming sessions. Thank you very much, Rahul.
Thank you, Madhu. Who's up next? Uma ma'am.
So I have been with Rahul and Speak Up Club for almost 3 years, and having been a Toastmaster and a public speaker, I have learned a lot after coming to Speak Up Club. Though Toastmasters has taught me a lot, but every time I join Rahul's session, I keep learning something new. And I always believe that you have to be a learner always. And the moment you think that you know everything, your learning stops. So every session has benefited me, and I would look forward to learn more and I have refined my skills after joining here. Thank you, Rahul, for that.
Thank you, Uma ma'am. Ellen, Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, go ahead.
One thing, even in today's speech, I could notice that I use the word so at times at people. So that is something I noticed. Like before, I didn't know that I use this word too much, but I am trying to control this. This is one thing I learned particularly from this quarter. And as far as last quarter, when it comes to goal setting and all, the particular thing is with workout. The consistency in which I am doing workout on daily basis, that is something which I have changed literally. It's something I learned.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Sri Krishna. Ellen.
Yeah. Me too, the same similar thing, wearing my speech, awareness. Actually, whenever I'm speaking, I used to talk continuously. Now I'm checking myself, okay, this is the time actually I need to stop or something like that. I'm thinking, as well as the words, what and all I'm using. Again, the face actually, whenever that even I met one Fran's friend, she also told the face is very fast. So now I'm trying to control and give the gap like that. I'm speaking that face like that session is very useful to me, especially. So those things, apart from that confident level, yeah, those things I have improved. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And Chandrasekhar, are you there or still in the metro? I think by now you would have reached somewhere. Metro doesn't last so long. Hyderabad Metro gets over. Chandrasekhar, go ahead.
So, hello friends and guests. By joining Speaker Club, I really feel happy because after joining, I feel so friendly to each and everyone by sharing ideas and speeches. And now I'm very confident by attending customer calls, replying in English, and it feels me like it's me only now. So thank you to Rahul and Pragya for making so much comfortable. And sorry for the speech because the deadlines and works are there.
No issues on that, Chandrasekhar. I think, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. And this is the family that we have built. And for the non-members, this is how we are and how we are growing. And this is the journey that we have had. It's been a fascinating 6-month period for us now of this journey of deeper transformation. Because earlier, the challenge that we faced in the Speak Up Club's journey was that we had a lot of knowledge being shared and the ideas being shared and a lot of appreciation and the love that poured in because the sessions were free and people joined as and when they were comfortable and free. But what we realized and the reason why we changed the model was the simple fact. Today, you have the answers to everything that you want to become, to achieve. You have the answers in your phone right now. The problem is not the knowledge. The problem is that conversion of that knowledge to a skill, and that is what makes a difference. And for that, we need commitment. We need people to get deeper and engage and learn on the finer things that we are discussing and having goals to up our game every time. And that is what we talked about in this journey in the last 6 months. Look at where you were and look at where you are. If you find that this is a journey that has helped you and progress in the last 6 months, looking forward to seeing you all as a part of the club again and continuing your journey in the next quarter. And the club is open to, once we share the next month's program, if at all the guests who are there in the audience, if you'd like to join the club and become a member of this transformative journey and going deeper in your lesson and your experience of transformation, looking forward to having you all as a part of the club. See you all. And with that, I sign off today's session. We can stay back for networking after the session recording stops. Let me close the session the formal way. And it's the last session of this quarter, 6 months done. And I wouldn't have been happier to call, thank God it's Friday, every Friday night with each one of you all and having and making this life better and not waiting for weekends because I want to run away from something. But I've been waiting for the Friday nights to happen because that is what opens the doors for the better version of me. Thank you and have a good night. See you all next Friday, not next Friday, the first Friday of July.